guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm so excited. I'm actually so hyped. Today we've been playing around with the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Jeffree released this a couple of weeks ago now. I know I am late to the bandwagon. I was ill, I was in bed, couldn't film, but obviously now I'm all better from my operation. If you know, you know. I'm not going to talk about it too much because it's boring, but I couldn't film anything when this came out, so I was kind of bummed about that because I wanted to get up a video quite quick, but that wasn't going to happen. I kind of knew that, but I did order it anyway because I am utterly obsessed with anything Jeffree brings out, especially his palettes. His palettes are always just so unique. The quality is amazing. They are expensive, but I feel like I'm putting my, I feel like I know where my coin is going with his palettes, you know? It's not like Kylie Cosmetics, for example, where you pay £40 for a palette and you're like, Colourpop. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you do get quality with his brand. I'm probably the last person to review this palette at this point. I mean, I don't know when the restock's coming. Obviously this is a couple of weeks now down the line from when it was like first launched, so I'm thinking it's probably going to be restocked soon. If I have a restock date, I'll put it down in the description bar below, but I don't know when it's being restocked. So I kind of want to review it for you if you haven't got it, if you couldn't get your hands on it. I just wanted to get a video out for the people that haven't bought this palette, either because they didn't know if they wanted to purchase it or not. It is quite a lot of money. I think it was like £54, something ridiculous like that. I didn't hesitate. But I kind of wanted to put up a video for you guys if you wanted to see what it looks like, how or what I think about it, if you wanted to catch it in the restock, or if you just want to see some more looks with it from different people. So yeah, this is going to be my little introduction. I've talked for like 3 minutes about this palette. Shut up. So the box itself is a chocolate box. It's Cadbury's purple. Have I got a Cadbury's? Oh, I do have a Cadbury's bar here, hang on. Look, okay. I've been having my 1 row a day of chocolate. This has been my chocolate fix. This is a Cadbury's caramel bar. And this is the Jeffree palette. It's the same purple. Look, it's a Cadbury's box of chocolates. So obviously when you open up the box, you just have the palette in here that looks like this. It has Bloodlust written here. And then you can just take this out of the packaging like that. It's a little bit like awkward to get it out for some reason, but I feel like I want to keep this box to keep this palette pristine, and the box is really, really pretty. It's a bit awkward, like I said. It's just, everything's a bit awkward. You're not going to be able to stand this up in any drawer you've got going. If you have, God bless your soul, but I certainly don't have a drawer this tall, so it's going to have to be laid down, which is kind of annoying. And the second reason I'm going to keep it, apart from being lovely, is to protect the palette, because it is a beautiful, I don't know if the light's going to capture it, you know, it's quite dark. Or maybe. It's a beautiful, beautiful crushed velvet palette. There we go, look at that. Ooh! It's beautiful crushed velvet. Comes with a clasp here at the front, the back. It's obviously got the Jeffree Star Cosmetics logo and all of like the information and branding, things like that. This is like a collector's piece. Oh, also you've got like the metal emblem here. So, I don't know if you can see that there, but the metal emblem here, like that, it's fully metal, all the crushed velvet. It's absolutely beautiful. I do worry about how dirty this will get. I am very, I'm very clean with my makeup packaging when it's expensive. Like when it comes in a box like this, like Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, for example, I keep them all in my boxes. I keep them all in my boxes because I'm a collector of makeup. Like I like my makeup to look nice. Sometimes my palette's inside look a little bit janky. I need to go through and clean all my makeup. That seems like a massive task that I really can't be asked to do. But yeah, I mean, for the average consumer, I feel like this is a little bit extreme, but it's beautiful. So getting inside the palette, it comes with a massive mirror, absolutely massive. I'm not going to peel off a thing yet because I'm also a freak and don't peel those things off until they fall off. You've also got like this protective slip, and that covers the eyeshadows. So here is the eyeshadow palette here. I mean, you've seen it, so I'm not going to like dwell on it too much, because I feel like at this point, if you've clicked on this video, you've probably seen this palette before. So I'm not going to be like, look at it, it's got purple in it, because it's a purple palette. I feel like I'm holding this in the most cack-handed way, but it's literally the only way, because this like mirror is heavy. This isn't a travelling palette. I would not travel with this palette. I don't want a purple eye so much to travel with this palette. Like, it's just not, it's a piece that you'd keep out on display, or you get out and you keep out for a week and use it for a week. It's that sort of massive clunky piece. It's a clunky piece of makeup. But inside it is a purple palette. I'm actually gonna have to rest this on my shoulder. This is so heavy. I can't even begin to tell you. It feels expensive. It's really heavy. I don't work out. I've got noodle arms. I've seen a lot of people have said that they don't think this palette is very purple toned and that they didn't get it. I personally think this is quite a clever purple palette. There are 1 or 2 shades in this palette that I would have just maybe swapped out. Like, I think in this palette what they really needed was a shade exactly the same colour as this purple, like that real like Cadbury's purple, and I think that would have maybe swayed people from seeing it from like a pinky lilac palette to a purple palette. I feel like he needed that plum, that plummy purple. Today I really want to focus on this black here. This is the only shade I've swatched. Can you like tell? Like, can you see that glint? I haven't swatched anything in here. I'm desperate to swatch it. I might do a few live swatches for you now, but I'm gonna try and swatch all down my arm and insert a picture for you in a second. But should we just swatch some shades here for you now? The one I want to swatch, okay, the one I want to swatch is the Executioner shade, this black one. I haven't got it upside down because it's easier to hold, sorry. The Executioner shade is this black with tons of purple glitter in, and that's the shade I want to use today. I feel like everyone's been tiptoeing around this shade, well, everyone that I've seen, and I want this all over my lid. Closer. Hopefully you've enjoyed those swatches. I already know what I want to do with this palette. I want to use that dark black here, Executioner, with all those purple glitters all over the lid, have like something smoking, something purple like in the crease, smoking out. I'm just going to get into it because I'm so excited for this. I will be doing a more wearable look with this palette. I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to pick this up for a wearable look. Like, if you're sticking to your neutrals, you're not going to even be looking at Jeffree Star at the moment. Like, let's just be honest. You're not going to be looking at this palette like, oh yeah, I just want the wearable look. You're in it for the colours. You're in it for the colours. You're either in it or you're not. So I will be doing a more wearable, subtle look because today we are going to be going smoky, we're going to be going bold. Let's get into it. So the first shade I'm going to go into is this shade here, Blood Queen. I think this is a really cool sort of, kind of a hint of fuchsia, kind of a hint of plum. It's like a hair off being a true purple, but I'm going to shove this throughout the crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Hiking, this one right here, and kind of just diffuse all of this out a little bit, kind of bringing it up but not too far up to the brow bone. I just want to sort of go around the edges just to kind of blend that area out a little bit more. I'm also going to take that really messily on the lower lash line as well, kind of pointing upwards so it doesn't drag down my eyes and give me like a purple eye effect, but just kind of messily dragging it underneath. Okay, so now I've kind of got that purpley base down. I am very aware that putting a black could potentially have a lot of fallout, and the way I'm packing it on, I know it's going to fall out. Now I haven't got any powder on my eyes, I have got a base of makeup on. I haven't got any powder across my face. I'm a dry skin girl, I don't like to overload powder too much, especially in the drier months of winter. But I am going to take some powder. This is just the No7 Translucent Perfect Light Loose powder. This is just in my project pan. And if you haven't seen my project pan, wait, that way. I'll link it up there, so you can go have a look at that. But I'm trying to take a little bit of that and just, not even pressing it in, I'm like tapping it. Just tapping my face so that all of this powder sits on my face and I don't want it pressed into my skin. Okay, so now we're looking like a crazy person. I mean, I just like to be a bit over precautious because I'm actually really liking my base makeup today and I don't really fancy it being completely wrecked by black shadow. And any dark shadows do tend to fall down your face. None of this purple has fallen down my face, by the way, and that is because I've just had a really light hand and built up the product. I've got the Illamasque gel liner here. It's just in black, Precision Gel Liner. I don't know what shade it is, but it's just the black one. And I'm just going to use this as a base all over my lid because I'm not saying Jeffree's formula needs this at all. In fact, it probably doesn't. But if I'm packing a black pigment all over my lid, I'm going to need to do a few layers for it to become completely opaque. And if I'm just putting this black gel liner all over, I'm not going to have to put so many layers of that shadow on, you know? I don't really want to wing this look out. I know I've kind of winged the purple out a lot, but I can control that and bring that back. I think I want to make this look quite circular, if that makes any sense, like really just keeping to the shape of my eye. Okay, so I've got the shape. This is how I want it to look. Like it's starting to take place. It's looking a little bit scary, but just stick with me. I'm going to take that Executioner shade, the beautiful majestic one, oh my god, on my finger to start off with. And then we're going to like finesse it with a brush later, but I'm going to go straight on the lid. I want to be careful not to go into the crease yet because I want to blend out this black. It's looking very harsh at the moment, but I don't want to blend this out because I don't want glitter fluffed everywhere. So I'm just going to press it straight on the, oh my baby Jesus, straight on the lid like this. I'm actually going to just take it straight on the brush instead of wetting my finger just because I don't want to ruin the pan, and then just press right over the top of that with a slightly damp brush, and that's just going to really lock in those glitters a little bit more. You can actually really tell the difference. I don't know if it's even picking up on camera, but you can tell the difference between like it being wet versus not wet. Like this is pretty, whereas this is like amped up. Okay, and then just to blend out this black, like I said, I think like the way it's looking is really pretty and really glittery and I love it. I do want to pack on some more glitter in a minute, like on the top, like pack on more of this Executioner shade. So I'm really glad I put that black base down. I don't know if it's even picking up on camera how pretty this is. Like, is that picking up? I'm not really too sure. I'm going to take the shade Dungeon, which is like this blackened purple. It's kind of greyish, a greyish blackened plum is what I want to call it. And I want to take it on this really petite brush. This is the M506 by Morphe, and just in circular motions just blend out the edge and the edge only. I don't want to take this anywhere else but the edges of this black. I'm also going to take that same brush and the same shade and then really, really closely to the lash line, kind of smoke it out. But I don't want to drag it too far down. I just want to link it up with my eye a little bit and just really tightly keep this to the lower lash line. You can just see what sort of effect that's having. And then to further just blend out that area again, like on top of what I've just done, like blending around that area, I'm going to go back into Blood Queen. This one, it's the original shade we laid down in our crease, if you can remember rightly. And I'm just going to go basically right over the top of that again. Don't know if I'm like close enough to the camera. I'm so sorry if I'm not. I'm still trying to really adjust all my angles, but anyway, I'm going right over the top of that to just bring back a tiny bit more purple. And because it's on the same brush, I have like brushed off as much of that blackish, dark plum purple grey pigment as much as I can, just on a dry flannel. But there might be a little bit of remnants on there, and that's okay because that's just going to help the blending process more than anything. I'm just going to really slowly, really tiny movements, just wiggle this about. I'm then going to take High King again. I don't know if you remember, but that's the shade we used to blend out Blood Queen at the very beginning. And I'm going to use the same brush. I tapped this off so much. So I'm really hoping that there's no like dark colour on this, but I'm literally just going around the perimeter of the entire shade. Just sort of meshing it all together, bringing back the colours that we've blended out so far. I'm then going to take a dense brush. I'm then going to just take some powder, just the No. 7 powder, and whisk away all of this fallout from that black shade that I knew we were going to get. I'm just going to spritz my face because God knows that powder has dried out my face. I'm just taking my Project Pan Colourpop Rose Quartz Crystal Priming Spray. This is violet, so I'm going to hold it far back. Well, that was a turn of events that I was not expecting. That No. 7 powder would not highly recommend for baking. That literally took the life from the skin that I put it on. Like, it's so cakey and dry now, but we're going to ignore it, okay? We're going to ignore it for the sake of this video. For the inner corner highlight, I want to go into Take the Crown, this one right here, which is like this pearly lavender shade. Hopefully it's like blinding, or I can like use a topper on it, but I'm just going to pop it right. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. This shade is beautiful. Because of that No. 7 powder, I have actually got tiny specks of black fallout all over my face. So to be honest with you, I'd just recommend, if you're going to use the black, like I have, like pack it all over the lid. Just do foundation after. You're going to save yourself a whole lot of trouble. Or just find a good baking powder. I feel like I need a lighter brow bone highlight that's not so purple. The only two that I'm seeing in here are these two here, which is Beauty Sleep and Wet Jewel. Let me just swatch these both. We're going for Beauty Sleep. That's like more sheeny, whereas Wet Jewel I feel like it's more of a lid topper. Beautiful though. I don't know if you can see that properly. Can you see that? I feel like my light's maybe a little bit too bright for you to be able to see, but Wet Jewel is definitely more of a glittery shade. Beautimous. Okay, so I'm currently feeling like $1 million. I'm going to pop on the unicorn lashes in Bubble Pop. This is a fresh pair of lashes, girl. I'm excited. I'm just going to pop those on and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. These lashes, like my whole eye is just looking absolutely audacious and I'm loving it. I used the Bad Gal Bang on my lower lash line, and like I said, the unicorn lashes in Bubble Pop. Love the unicorn lashes. They're really great. They're also faux. I bought the faux ones. I'm not into the whole mink lash. I'm going to go into this palette, and I think I want to take Royal Pain, which is this one right here, and use it as a blush, which could be quite nice. I'm going to take it on this Jaclyn Hill JH06, which is like the most loose brush, or one of the most loose brushes I own. And I'm going to take Royal Pain. Jeez. That's pigmented. Okay. Okay. Here goes nothing. Oh, cute. Okay, cute. Loving this. Actually really loving that as a blush. I also want to use this palette as a highlighter as well, and I think I'm going to take Beauty Sleep, which is the same shade we used on our brow bone. This one right here, it's like a pink with gold reflect. It's like a pinky purple with gold reflect, and let's just use that as our highlighter. I'm going in small amounts. Oh yeah, I can see it coming through. Come through! I'm actually really into like having a really high highlight, like literally under my eye. I don't know why, I just love having a really high highlight and then like bringing it right down onto the cheek like this. Instead of having it like over here, I really like condensing it right here. I don't know why, but it's just a thing, okay? It's a thing. I was going to go in for like a purpley lip, but I feel like that's just going to be a bit too much with these eyes. I feel like I need a nudier lip, like obviously not as nude as my skin, because I feel like then I'd just be lost. I'd just be a pair of eyes. So I'm going to go in with Celebrity Skin. I have the full size, but I brought over all of my minis, so I had like an array, a good collection. Celebrity Skin, I feel, because it's got that kind of, it's kind of got that cool toned look. I'm actually just going to line my lips a little bit with Makeup Talk by Morphe. Just a lip liner. And then I'm going to whack Celebrity Skin on. I'm literally running out of this mini. Like I take this mini everywhere with me. So, oh, I can actually see the bottom. This is actually the worst day. instead of a gloss, I'm just going to take like a tad of my lip balm, my Sexy Mother Pucker Extreme, and just tap that in the inner part of my lips. That way it doesn't look like a crusty butthole. And there we go, that is it. That is my really smoky look using the Bloodlust palette. I feel like I accurately represented the packaging when I first saw it, like purple but deep, kind of capturing the light and looking black in some and looking purple in others. Like, I feel like that's what I wanted my eye makeup to look like, and I feel like I've achieved that. I really enjoy this palette. I think I was going to say the shades are tricky, but I don't think that at all. I don't think the shades are tricky. I think that I used the trickiest shade in the entire palette, which was the black, full of glitter. Newsflash, that's going to be exactly the same for any palette you pick up. In fact, this is probably the best black with like packed full of glitter that I've played with in a very, very long time. There was fallout, and I knew there was going to be fallout. I think we discussed this before, there was going to be fallout, I knew that. I would personally recommend, if you want to pack on colours that are a little bit deeper, to just do your concealer or under eye afterwards, and that's something that I've learned actually with this palette. You can't really, or the looks that I want to create with this palette, I need to do my base afterwards, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. It doesn't really matter what order you do your makeup in. There's no rules. But I really enjoy this palette. I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more of a wearable look, a less smoky look perhaps. When I say wearable, I mean just like not this. I'm excited to play around with like the lighter tones and perhaps like the neutral tones in this palette. I think these are really pretty. This shade up here, Royal Pain, yeah, Royal Pain as a blush, beautiful. And the Beauty Sleep as a highlighter, beautiful. Not the sort of highlighter I would go for on an everyday because it's quite metallic and I like a really creamy highlight, but on camera it does look really, really pretty, and I'm absolutely feeling myself in this makeup look. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you do want to see that lighter look or that different look with this palette, just give me a thumbs up, or just give me a thumbs up anyway because you enjoyed this video. All these things, they tell me things. I'm collecting data, okay? I'm an analyst, I'm a mathematician, I'm a scientist. I'm gonna collect the data and pop it out, okay? Subscribe if you haven't already and ring my bell because then you'll be notified of all the videos I upload. I upload every single week and you won't want to miss out on more content from me, especially when I face struggles in every video. You just wouldn't want to miss out on that, would you? You just wouldn't. I'm gonna go take a cute Instagram picture now in my fleece with a full-on smoky eye ready for the clubs, and hope you go like it. Follow me on Instagram, by the way. I never plug that. I leave it in the description bar all the time. Also, description bar, I've already like signed out and I'm already adding like PSS to this video. I'm trying to fill out the description bar a bit more, so anything that you're interested in on my face, anything that I used today, I'll put it all in the description bar below so you know what I've used. And that is it. I'm gonna go take a cute Insta. Go follow me over there, like that picture, and see you in my next one. Bye. People, oh my god. How do I hold this? Like that? A plum.